Nothing can make a man who went through hell because of a woman feel better than knowing the woman who spent years making his life a living hell sank her own ship and wrecked her life. And the best part is he didn't have to do anything more than wait and watch her lead herself to no man's land in a life. There's nothing more satisfying. Many women wouldn't be in the situation they are in right now if they hadn't drunk the womanism Kool-Aid and made the decision that they wanted to be independent of men. However, we have to give credit where credit is due and acknowledge that a small percentage of them have become successful, which is still good. However, we also have to acknowledge that independence came at the cost of them, sacrificing their families to achieve their career and business goals. The problem is that some of these women wanted families too. However, these successful women gave up their best years in the beginning to fool around with the top-tier men and focus on getting the bag rather than getting married and starting a family. As a result, when they were finally ready to start focusing on the family, they ran out of time, and many of them ended up being single and childless for the remainder of their lives. This is all they're doing, by the way, because men had absolutely nothing to do with this because all of these women had options or alternatives. Alternatively, this is the reason why there is no issue if you feel a sense of satisfaction when the women who did you wrong or rejected you end up alone, because their choices led them down that path. I always tell people that the default setting for at XX is self-destruction, and that men were put on this earth to protect women from themselves. However, now that women are independent and make their own choices, men no longer have the ability to do so. If you don't believe me, look at the BS that has happened to modern women by their own doing and tell me I'm wrong. It wasn't perfect when men were running the show and control over women, but it surely wasn't this bad. I can tell you that for a fact. Remember to tap the like button, guys, get 500 likes, and I won't have to call the squad to pay you a visit. The first reason why suckers are attracted to suckers is because suckers are more likely to do so. Women in the past have always done things that are the exact opposite of what the womanist movement promotes, and instead of working on God knows what, they actually did what Mother Nature intended and had the kids at a young age, when they were the most fertile and their bodies were most suited to pumping out kids. However, modern women are encouraged to delay having children so that they can focus on their careers in their younger years, when they have the greatest potential for having children and when they are still physically able to rock their infants to sleep with their voices. They sold out their future families for a corporation that doesn't give a crap about them and will replace or fire them when needed in the blink of an eye. But at the end of the day, nobody forced them down this road by holding the blinky to their heads. They wanted independence so badly that they willingly sacrificed their family life to get the bag in their so-called independence, and the cost of that was that a lot of them had to die alone with their cats and dogs over money. They sold out their future families for a corporation. Do you think they gave a crap about starting a family and marrying a monster? By the time their kids were young adults in their teens, the option was always there for them to work full-time or part-time after the kids were old enough to take care of themselves, depending on the salaries of their husbands. However, they chose to have Chat and go get the bag instead. You shouldn't feel sorry for them when they shoved Chad's enormous vanilla bar all the way down her throat while she was dripping with cream. Do you think they were concerned about menopause and having to make babies in petri dishes when these strong and independent women were getting the bag and making six figures? Not a chance in hell. They only cared about it when the day of reckoning came, and their biology forced them into a corner where they had to think long and hard about what they wanted with the limited time that they had. Listen, gentlemen, the difference between a B and a T is that a K has more time. Because as we say around these parts, the wall comes for all, which means that no amount of college degrees, 6- and 7-figure salaries, lip filler, Botox implants, or age-reducing cream can save them. Furthermore, when it comes to the biological wall and those eggs start to fry until their egg factory is shut down for good, there is nothing they can do to reverse it or change that fate, which will automatically lower their value. They are free to act like fools and take the bread if that's what they want to do. However, once the real world sets in, they will have to face the consequences. The second reason why successful career women are dying alone is because of hypergamy. If you've been in this RP space, you know what hypergamy is. When women try to mate or date men with the highest value possible, whether it is purely based on superior genetics, wealth, or status, they always try to get the best possible mate they can get, and that's just how they're built. So we must understand that this is unchangeable and accept this reality about all women. When women start successful careers, they start dating men. I'm aware that this doesn't apply to all women, so feel free to relax in the comments section, but this is where the problem lies for women. The more success they get, the fewer men will qualify to date them because they'll make more than most average men. This doesn't mean that she has more money in the bank. It just means that on paper she makes more than most men. Let's get one thing straight. Just because they make more money does not automatically imply that they keep more of that money. However, it does imply that they keep more money overall. It is free to date younger women, and as a result, the successful boss bitch is just used as practice on the rooster carousel by the same men they are aiming for. The top-tier men are not settling down or marrying older women when they have the leverage, so these women end up dying alone unless they give up on trying to get the CEO and settle for a man who makes less than them. This is typically what happens, and it is their fault because they do not want to. They are close to 70 years old. The only thing that can save these women are the young men who are single and lonely, and who cannot get the women in their age group, who are desperate for any piece to leave and will be happy to be with them. Other than that, most of these women are headed for cats in a box with no man to spend the rest of their lives with, and again, it is their fault because they wasted their best years having fun living it up and grinding, and in the end, very few of them have something they value to show for it. If none of those sound like good ideas to you, then go ahead and roll the dice. If you get the short end of the stick, take accountability and hold the L. If none of those sound like good ideas to you, then go your own way. If you can't live the rest of your lives by yourself, I think it would be best for you both to postpone getting married for at least the foreseeable future, at least until the economy improves. Tap the thumbs up button and share your thoughts by commenting below. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and share it with the person who could benefit the most from hearing this message.